describe how different training groups such as executive trainees, mid-career trainees, in-house training, and open training programs uses rapport building process, facilitation techniques, and facilitation skills differently with suitable examples from your organization or your own training programs. This is the question, sir.
Okay.
Now for you have very nicely covered all the things, sir. Rapport building, facilitation skills and techniques. Wonderfully covered by you. But then for all these 4 different groups, then how do we separate? Because more or less, sir, we have to use the same skills, same techniques, and same rapport building. Little bit difference will be there. Very little difference. Because when you know people, when you know executive trainees in induction programs, little difference will be there. But very big difference should not be there, sir.
No, you are absolutely correct. As far as this skill is concerned, what I have tried to cover in these 7 sessions, that is basically the concepts and the skills, right?
Yes, sir.
What are the skills? The question is that it's applicability. Applicability, the skills, I will not say. Facilitation skill, I don't say it differs from, one type of employee to another type of employee. But what is in the mind of the gentleman who have given you, I can only say that look at the characteristics of the new trainees, executive trainees or new trainees. New trainees, what they are a bit unsure. They are lacking some sort of information about the organization. They are lacking some confidence. They are lacking some types of skills that how one should talk in the group or in the organization. So when I am facilitating, for example, I have done facilitation for these people also. There, my more attention is on relationship aspect rather than task aspect.
Okay, sir.
Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Because these people, what is their basic need? Their basic need that they should be comfortable and work ready in the organization as soon as possible. So if I am a facilitator, now question is that, am I facilitating as that person's boss, or am I facilitating as a training manager or training executive, or am I facilitating any meeting or any training program which I am holding with these new trainees? So in the new trainees, the basic thing is that they are a bit insecure. They are in the organization. They don't know each other also so well. So some of them may be very open. Some of them may not be very open. Some of them may not be sure. They will be unsure basically. Should I tell or should I not tell it? Should I ask this question? Should I not ask this question? So if I am facilitating these people, I spend, as you told, a lot of time in basically rapport building. One thing is that my level may be little higher or much higher than those new trainees. So question is that some sort of leveling has to be done. And as I am telling you that for these people, when we start their induction or anything, we go for a sort of, I discussed that day, go for a type of an intervention that is called micro lab. Micro lab, 1 hour, 1.5 hour, 40 minutes, 45 minutes intervention. And that intervention, I have experienced that it makes some difference in the beginning, that much of their fears, apprehensions, and reservations, they basically are washed away, and they become more, open with each other also, and with the facilitator also. Question is that when we are doing a facilitation session, whatever type of it is, with these younger people with trainees, we should be more concerned about bridging the gap, that how I also become, a part of them, and I also come closer to them. And when they start opening up, then of course, um, I will work as per the objective of my session. So that's why I told you in short that relationship aspect, I personally give more emphasis because I have done a lot. I was training executive, I was personal executive. Even if I was not in personal department, I was doing programs for these people. So enough opportunity I have got in my organization and other organizations also. So with these people, this thing works. And once they become free, they're not afraid of you, they will start opening up and you will get a lot of data for doing your facilitation work. Could I add some value to your understanding?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. For executive trainings, you're very well explained, sir. For mid-career, now how do things differ for mid-career, sir? It will be
mid-career things differ a lot because
they're already there.
Because these people are not freshers or not new people. They have spent a good number of years in the organization, and they have understood their work. They have understood management also, and they have understood their work also. So question is that when we are doing facilitation with these people, what is more important? More important is giving them more space. Giving them more space. More space means instead of the facilitator telling something, it's better to know from them or ask from them. You will find many types of dysfunctional behavior also with this type of people, because different type of people come there. Many of them, they go into some sort of supremacy type of thing, whether I'm powerful or the facilitator is powerful. So usually we have seen that we go into this type of arguments with them, and basically at the heart of it, that the feeling is that the participant thinks that participant is more competent, the facilitator is not. So question is that here our facilitating skill comes to really comes to a test. The question is that how I can maintain my credibility, at the same time how I generate some sort of trust in the people, this type of people. So much of the things I have discussed, or I have not discussed everything, those things are applicable. One of the things which I say here, it is, yes, when I do a 4 or 5 days facilitating skills program, so there I spend some time on interpersonal behavior. And many of you might be aware of a very old instrument, but is very effective instrument, that is called FIRO-B. Are all of you aware with this
Yes,
tool?
sir. FIRO-B. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
FIRO-B.
Yes, sir.
So yes, reading in FIRO-B, you will find that first is inclusion. So when you are going with this experienced type of people, one thing is that it should not be you versus the group or you versus a participant. So question is that how you can include yourself and how you create a situation that they also include themselves. So once inclusion is there, then some sort of feeling of togetherness is there. Otherwise also, once you have come to a classroom for some objective inclusion, at least physical inclusion is there. Now the question is that, okay, once you start discussing, asking questions or sharing something, then the control needs comes to picture. And I have seen that more than 60 or 70% of the facilitation sessions, they ultimately become controlling sessions. Controlling sessions means, you know the difference between facilitating and controlling. So if, for example, me, Parthasarthi, I am a person who is having a very high expressed control need. Very high, I will not take much time. I'm just trying to explain in simple. If I have a very high expressed control need, what will be my behavior in that facilitation session? I will try to dominate. I will try to control others. I will say that I'm doing facilitation, but my language, my tone of my voice, my body language, all these things may suggest that I am basically controlling. You know, I was the program director of a strategic management program, very long duration, 2 weeks program, 16 days program. And I had invited in one of the sessions towards the end of the program to my director personnel, director HR. And he was a person, he had been my participant also, and he was my boss at that time. So he was a known person in the organization that he doesn't listen to others. He only forces his opinion on others. Now the thing is that he had come to take that interaction session with the very senior group, general managers and additional general managers. They were the participants. I remember one of the general managers, participants, whenever he was speaking, telling a word either to a participant or to director, he will speak sir and all. But what he will do, his forefinger always, he will wave his forefinger. वो बोलते हैं ना कि अंगुली दिखाते हैं, बिना अंगुली दिखाए वो बात कर ही नहीं सकते हैं. And he had got some feedback also by the members that it is highly irritating. Now the question is that if there was a clash. Here is a person who has a participant who has a very high express control, and here is a facilitator or whoever you say who has a very high express control. And now you see what happened there. After hearing for a few minutes, 2 or 3 times this person spoke either to director or to one of the participants answering something, director had to shout on him. The first you learn to put your fingers down. Your hand should not move from the table. Then only I will speak to you. So the thing is that we are not aware, but these needs play a part even if we are unaware. So if I am a facilitator and if I am aware that I am a person having high expressed needs, I'm not telling that you become a person having low. No, it's not possible. But when I'm facilitating, I must always remember that here if I start controlling and dictating and directing and guiding, I will not be perceived as a facilitation session. So whenever we are talking with this type of experienced people, one thing is that we must be aware of our interpersonal need, how I am. And the question is that if some participant is trying to dominate and all, instead of feeling irritated or angry, we can understand that this person also may be having a high expressed control need. Now the question is that I can change myself, I can bring myself to low control level or moderate control level, but how I can bring the participants. So there are many of the things which I have discussed here. Those things will be there, and one of the things when I have handled this, that if enough data is there, if several times, few times the person has spoken like that, the participant showing his control, I will ask the opinion or feedback of the people. The gentleman, what is happening in this group? So if 4 or 5% share, then one person will say that argument is happening, or one-upmanship is coming, and this is coming. The person will gauge. And if direct it is not, then in a facilitating manner, one can make the participant know that there is enough time, and I am going to listen to you, and let's discuss the things, not force on each other. So just I'm giving an example. This is one thing, your control needs. These control needs, suppose a facilitator is having low wanted control need, means the facilitator doesn't want to listen to others. The facilitator doesn't want to follow even if it is a good instruction. The facilitator thinks that no, accepting other person's view means I am telling that I was wrong. So if the facilitator is having low wanted control need, then the facilitator will not have patience, and facilitator will also enter into an argument. So question is that the facilitator has to understand for himself. And of course, affection. Affection is such a thing which helps in building relations everywhere. And if you are appreciating some good initiative of somebody, if you are speaking in a very, very, a friendly manner to that person, and you are open also, I think rapport will be developed. So this is a very long topic in itself, but just I was trying to give a hint to you.
Sir, thank you very much, sir. What about in-house?
I'll finish.
Yes, sir.
That
yes.
Try to fill up the this questionnaire by yourself. Have you filled up this Fairobi questionnaire for yourself? Do you know your Fairobi scores?
Yes, sir.
So kindly understand if you have not understood it very well, and try to use that for yourself and for others also, and that will be going very well with this type of people. Yeah, I think.
So thank you, sir. So thank you. But what about the difference in facilitation skills and rapport building in case of in-house and open sessions? That's another aspect, sir. In-house and open.
Yes, rapport building. You are specifically asking.
All the three things, sir: rapport building, facilitation skills, and facilitation techniques. How do they differ for in-house and another in-house and open sessions?
For me, it has not mattered much. But one thing is that I had shared one of my experiences in this during this session only, that in-house, if things are in a subdued manner, in open, the participants become more open than required.
Sir,
sometimes.
May I answer this?
Sure.
Yeah, Soumya, thank you.
Hello, Ruchi ma'am.
Thank you.
The question can be precisely understood by a very simple example. So when we talk about, we are not considering rapport building right now. Okay, I'm talking about facilitation skills and techniques. So when we talk about in open sessions, when you talk about open sessions, then have you seen the speaker of Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha?
Yeah, okay.
That is a perfect example of facilitator. Now, ab dhyan se, you just focus on what he does and how he manages the sessions, different sadhans of the opposition and main and whatever the terms are there, right? So that is the duty of a facilitator there. He has to listen, he has to coordinate, He has to justify, he has to give respect to, he has to scold, he has to stop, he has to initiate, he has to do the proceeding and get the work done by the, he has to get the bill passed at the end of the session. So that is an open session. That is how facilitator and facilitation skills are being used there, right?
Yeah.
Now, when we talk about an in-house session, which you are talking about, then we know our audience and we have a selected number of participants. There, the facilitator already knows that a pre-described topic is there, and we need to handle some adults which are already known. Our participants are also adults, so they understand that we are here for a motto to get resolved. And for in-house sessions, the facilitation skills are pretty much less used and easy for a facilitator's point of view, as far as I am concerned. And it is much easily directed. And the motto gets resolved easily, because as compared to open sessions, they are being very much chaotic. But when we talk about in-house sessions, they are very much pretty much controlled. I won't say word control here. I would say the word is pretty much directed to towards the goal. And one thing that comes very handy in in-house sessions, that the facilitator easily understands the type of audience and then acts according to it. So this is the way open and in-house is done. Now, when we talk about rapport building, right? So rapport building is very critical in open sessions. So we avoid giving doing rapport building in open sessions. Yes, open sessions में rapport building can happen like कोई बहुत बड़ा, like it's like a big session or something to be just known to be about. Yeah, but in in-house sessions, rapport building is done through some effective topics and all those. And वहाँ पे facilitation is just getting done through some visualization process or visual teaching techniques, training techniques, and story visualization. So multiple things are used there as facilitation to drive the people in the in-house sessions on their own. So that is.
Any comments from anybody else? These questions are very challenging and very practical also. It is not only challenging, it is very practical.
Very, very right, sir. In fact, this question, when I approach, I have to read this question at least 2-3 times to understand the question, what is asked, because it's quite twisted question. There are 4 types of groups they want to address, as rightly mentioned. And there are 4 types of this training options they are given, four kind of. So we have to match, and 3 kind of this things like rapport building, facilitation skills, and technique. We have to fit in these 3 things in all these 4 groups. So a lot of thought process is required and understanding, as you rightly said, your pointers. Every group is different than the other, because we can't say keep everybody in the same line. New joinees are different, mid-crisis different, and the other person, the other 2 options, that is in-house and open training, these are altogether facilitation. Yes, you rightly said it doesn't change. Facilitator's approach will remain the same. He has to be more of listener, more of he will not directly go into and control the meetings or something, but somewhere the degree of facilitation will vary. With new joinees, probably the facilitation skills are more of little bit controlling skills also he has to bring in, or giving them some questions to talk upon, ponder upon, and giving them some ideas, clues, and all those things. But when it comes to mid-crisis, midlife crisis, in this kind of, he will not, as you rightly said, he will see that what questions are coming from them and what.
Can I interrupt right now?
Right.
How the person who asked the question, ma'am, where are you at the moment?
Yes, sir.
आप कहाँ हैं अभी?
You mean the place, sir?
नहीं, I'm not asking your emotional, your location. You have heard 3 persons. So after hearing 3
sir,
persons, where are you now?
Yeah, I think, sir, definitely they have given some clues very well. Soumya, I think we should be thankful for both Soumya and Amar also. very good clues, and somewhere I think very right, sir. It's understood that it's a different kind of facilitation to be used for all 4 groups. Mainly the same, but slightly different.
I will not say different.
Yes, sir.
I will say that we have to be sensitive to the audience.
Sensitive, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sensitive.
That is the main thing.
Yes, sir. Sensitive is
coming back to your open house. In open house, one thing is that people are from different places.
Yes.
People are from different places. And so there is a challenge there. When you can facilitate well, when people are interactive with the facilitator and people are also interactive with each other. So there the challenge is that I have seen in n number of programs, open programs, people are coming and sitting with their tie and coat as a, officer from this organization, that organization, that organization. And it takes time to basically have interaction within them also. So if the facilitator senses that this type of thing is happening, facilitator should quickly make some interventions that they should start interacting with each other. For example, I was having I had main number of top level of trade union leaders and top level of management in one single program. So question is that it was very uneasy. कभी मैनेजमेंट चुप हो जाता था, कभी वो चुप हो जाते थे, और मैंने देखा कि ये तो प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है. तो हमने क्या किया? आई चेंज द मेथोडोलॉजी. मैंने उनको टास्क दे करके और स्मॉल ग्रुप में बांट दिया, ग्रुप में दोनों को मिक्स कर दिया, ये ट्रेड यूनियनिस्ट ऑल दिस पीपल आल्सो. एंड यू सी देयर इंटरेक्शन, यू मे से इट इज अ फोर्स्ड इंटरेक्शन, बट इफ अ पर्सन हु इज नॉट कंफर्टेबल with talking in front of 30 persons, that person can be comfortable talking with 3, 4 or 5 persons. So these are the things we have to do. And I'm not telling that this has to be done only in the open programs also, in-house programs also. In-house ka matlab do hota hai. One in-house is that it is in your own organization. The other in-house is that some organization has called you and all the participants are from the same organization. So the thing is that certain things are there. For example, in my own organization, I can afford to become more open very quickly. I can be blunt also at times because some image I am having in my organization, and as you told, we are knowing the participants also to some extent. But the same thing if I do in an external organization or in an open program, it may misfire. My openness has to go in a gradual manner. I am opening one step, the group also is opening, I am also opening, the group also is opening, and that is what rapport building is. So there, if in the beginning itself, say I have gone only for half day or 1 day, and I become very open and I told something about the organization. I'm telling, I was doing a program with TSDC, let me say, Terry Hydro Development, and the program was in NTPC. And their very senior people had come, and I was the guest faculty there. And both organizations knew me, at least by name. NTPC knew me more. But what happened there? That one sentence I made, because of I thought both organizations are close to me. That is what I was thinking. I made only one statement. Somebody asked a question that, sir, what is the difference between managing or leading with NTPC and leading with TSDC? And I told that an organization which has taken 36 years to come to production level needs a different type of leadership than an organization which has grown up within no time. And NTPC, for example. And when I told, 1 or 2 persons spoke, that no, sir, we have not come here for being insulted. You know, lot of time I have to spend only to calming down. So the question is that when I am going to an external audience, I have to have a very serious watch over my openness also, because that was the fact that organization has taken more than 40 years when they started production, and I have been their consultant also for some time. And NTPC, I have been, given my faculty services for more than 20-25 years. So question is that the familiar organization, and you know, this message, it went to TSDC also. ये TSDC में चला गया और लोग बोलने लगे कि भाई पार्थो सारथी को हम लोग ऐसा नहीं समझते थे कि he will insult us. So question is that we have to be a bit very discreet in this type of matters, sensitive I am telling, because any statement I say in a good faith, and it may be taken in a different way. So shall we close this question, or anything is still remaining?
Thank you, sir.
So, ma'am, this I think a considerable amount of time has been given. I'm asking you, how are you feeling right now after hearing 3-4 persons? Feeling?
Oh, good, sir. Good. Very good, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. Thank you very much.
We have added to the confusion, or we have reduced?
No, sir. I think we have understood, sir. I think everyone, has, and ultimately the way you have summed up, sir, very well explained.
I will appreciate the person who has given this question. It will give you a lot of, opportunity to exercise your skills and analytical skills also. And yes, differences and similarities, you can identify both.
Right,
yes.
Sir. Thank you.
Who is coming next? Anybody would like to?
Sir, I wanted to know about this facilitation techniques, because I feel that session somewhere I missed and I could not understand those techniques. There are some 5-6 techniques, different techniques are there.
Had you attended my session on facilitation techniques?
No, I actually missed, and later on I have referred certain notes on the same thing, but I could not understand in depth about this techniques.
Which technique specifically you tell? There are some 15-20 techniques. Which technique specifically you are thinking that you are not comfortable with? And all these techniques, it is not necessary also that everybody uses all these techniques.
There are, I have heard about this affinity. There are some tools, I suppose. These are certain tools and certain techniques. The tools which I could not understand is affinity diagram, first one. Hello.
I'm feeling a bit difficult here because there is no time that I come back to the facilitation techniques part. And one thing I will request here very humbly, that the handouts which I have given you, if you read it not once, twice, thrice, and look into difficulties what you are having there, you can see on net or you can see in some book, although your doubts will be clear. Here I'm I'm finding myself unable to clear your to talk about facilitation techniques as a whole. Is that key?
Can we discuss just one technique which is very dear to you so that we can use it? Any one facilitation technique which is very, very dear to you, which you have deployed when you are a facilitator. Why don't you speak something which is very dear to you so that we can also use it?
Okay, one technique is this fishbowl technique itself.
Pardon?
I think fishbowl technique. I think as a trainer you must be aware.
Fishbowl. Yeah, I've just heard it. I've not used it.
See?
I've just heard it. Heard it.
You heard it. Question is that when we find that the group is not taking initiative, and many times we go as a trainer or as a facilitator in a meeting or a problem solving or problem identification or whatever it is. And when we see that, when we sense that the participants are not, taking any initiative, they are simply sitting down and they are noting. They are not creating any problem also, but at the same time, they are not active also. So at that time, these techniques I have used number of times. Fishbowl technique. The question is that for example, we have gone for problem identification. The session is for problem identification itself. In any area, any department, any this thing, it is not functioning that well, or people are not motivated, or whatever it is. So we can take few central issues, and those issues we can ask them to tell their problems, but many persons don't tell their problems also. So now the question is that we can make a small group of 5-6 persons, and those 6 persons, we may make them sit in the center. We may have to slightly restructure the sitting pattern if possible. So suppose in the center, these 5-6 persons are sitting. Of course, it can be only chairs, round chairs, a small circle, or there can be some central table or separate table also. That depends. But it's better to sit without chair. That works very well. So 5-6 persons have sat in a circle. And then remaining persons we are telling that you sit around these persons. Means that will be a second circle. And we will tell that, say, this central group, if the session is for identifying a problem or central session is for giving a solution to some problem, we will say that this central group will discuss, and these people will, give us a consensus list of few problems which they are facing, or few alternative solutions of the problem if it is a solution. So, and we tell them that the outsiders will not take part in their discussion. They will be simply observing. And this discussion goes on. And when you find that either good points have not come, or there are many points, or you want some more points, you want some modification in whatever has happened, then you can allow this outside that you leave your seat and come just behind this inner circle, and you tell whatever you want to tell. So now this person for the time being has become a part of the group. And whatever this person says, on that this group, inner group, is free to react, accept, reject, modify, ask some clarifications or whatever it is. So this way, when this discussion is going on, you will find that another person also who is there in the outer circle, that person also has some opinion, some views, wants to say something. Internet problem. Are you listening to me?
Yes.
So they similarly that person is also asked that you come and just stand or sit behind this inner circle and do this discussion. So you will find that from the group, many persons or some persons, they start discussing with this small group, and whatever is the data that is enriched and whatever decision, whatever consensus is made here, that is what that is valuable, I will say. So this is in a simple way. There are many variations, but this is in a simple way. This is the fishbowl diagram. Here, what happens? What are the benefits? The benefit is that seeing another person speaking, some thoughts are evoked inside the person, or some feelings rise inside the person, and those of them who are not able to control their feelings, or they want that no, this type of thing should not be accepted, they will come and they will share, and it will be a more enriching type of output. Yeah, this is what this technique. There are many techniques. This is what I was telling.
Sorry, you mean to say the inner group who are sitting in a circle, they should sit with a problem or something of that sort?
No, every facilitation session is for some objective.
Yeah, right, for some objective. Yeah.
So the objectives, normally the objectives come on problem identification or problem solving.
Achha, okay.
Usually. And it may be organizational issue, it may be some cost reduction issue, it may be some systems issue, it may be anything.
One little thing which I consider very important. You say in the inner circle there should be a group of 5 to 6, and who will be choosing this 5 to 6 in the group? Who will be choosing that?
Very, very good question. In the beginning, you can request the group that you are going to play some exercise, do some exercise, or play some games, and in that you want 5, 6 volunteers. So, volunteers will come that way. Volunteers are not coming. Then you have to encourage or facilitate to some extent so that at least 5, 6 persons come.
Okay. Thank you.
This way, there can be many. Once I was, I don't know whether I've shared with this group or not. I was once, I was doing a program of business process improvement, and it was a time re-engineering and all these things were coming. So I tried to locate facilitators for this program, and ultimately I could not get. They were more academic. So I did my own study, and I made a program by myself. Lot of effort, lot of work, and it was structured program. But the participants were almost either of my level or slightly one step above me. Although I had a very good reputation in the organization, but more of my reputation was a behavioral science person or HRD person like that. So this topic, they thought that he's not competent. And I had got very rich nomination. Very, very good people had come from different units. Yes. So now the question was that I started it. I did the micro lab also. So some sort of, rapport building was there. But when we came to the text, to the question, then there was difficult. I find people are restless. People are not even writing anything. If I'm asking any question, responses are tangential or sarcastic. Very difficult. And 5 days program. You imagine single faculty, 5 days program. Only 2 persons I had for experience sharing. 3 hours like that, some days. Now the question is that what to do? Big fiasco. People have come from different units, from Tiruchirappalli, Hyderabad, from there to Noida. Now the question is that it became very difficult. So initially they went into an argument. And the argument was that who are the faculty? And when they find it is a single faculty, it was totally disappointment to them. Some persons were still telling that I'm, I have wasting my time, I have wasted company's money and all these things. And in this about half an hour slipped this way. So the question was that what to do. So I announced an early tea time. And we went for a 15 minutes break. And after break, people came. I found their moods are same. Moods are same. So I told them that, okay, gentlemen, I know that you people are not comfortable with this program, either because of faculty or because of some other reasons. So I'm giving you 10 minutes time and I'm going out of this room. 15 minutes, I think I have given them. You people don't discuss within yourself. But whatever is in your mind right now, please write it in small phrases. And my people pasted flip charts all around the room. It was a very big hall. Some 50, 60 flip charts were pasted within no time. And I came out. And when I came after 20 minutes, I found there was not even an inch space vacant where you can write something. Great. And after that, what to do? I thought I'm moving in a right direction. But I told the gentleman, why don't everybody reads everything? So you go around all these flip charts. I'm giving you 10 minutes again time for that. And after that, you come back to your seats. They went, they read out from this end to that end. And then I told you, what does it mean? What does it mean? No answer. I told you there are more than 1,000 phrases and statements. I'm not able to understand. I'm not able to make anything. I'm giving you another half an hour time. And somebody from the group, I'm not nominating 2 persons, 3 persons, small group. You kindly summarize or make a frequency diagram कि किस point में कितना जोर है. Or even if you don't want to do 10 important things, whatever is written here, you please find out within half an hour, but by consensus, and I'll come back. And if needed, we will have it only 1 day program and tomorrow you will go back. No problem from my side. I have told them also that I have no problem. I am not going to forcibly stop you here. And believe me, जब मैं आया आधे घंटे के बाद में, तो इन लोगों ने जो व्हाइट बोर्ड पे थोड़ा जगह बचा था, तो व्हाइट बोर्ड पर दे हैड रिटन सर 9 or 10 statements out of all these things. And what was that statement? This statement was only telling, in short, that we are not having trust in the competence of the faculty. That is the summary of all these things. But what did you observe? What is your observation? As a facilitator, I have narrated something. What is your observation after seeing all these things, after reaching this place? Do you have any understanding of the group now? Yes? I will ask a question. The group has moved ahead or the group has not moved ahead? Hello?
Yes, the group has moved ahead.
Moved ahead. It means?
It means gradually they'll come to what you want to tell them.
It means there is some hope. Is it not?
Yeah, there is some hope.
It means the facilitation has worked to some extent or to more extent. Right, sir?
But one thing is there, you know, when they write, we don't have trust in the facilitator. Sometimes, you know, the facilitator's moral also gets down.
Great point you have told. Now the question is, sorry. What he was telling. Yes, my daughter had come actually, they wanted to go and I was talking. Okay. So I was telling that there was something that okay, things are moving. Now the question is that there is some issue. जो मैं बात कर रहा था control issue का. कि this person who is junior to us or same level of us, how he can 5 days, how he can be with us, we will be bored, this, that. Okay, that is the truth. That is their expression. As a facilitator, I have to accept it. But the question is that if the facilitator loses morale, what is going to happen? And that is why for years and years, our alma mater ISAFs, वो जो होता है ना कि डंडा दे करके facilitation सिखाया है, it is very hard way, crying, all these things have happened. So question is that when this happened, I thought that I should change my style of facilitation.
Achha,
so I told them all of
know about
these organizations, processes better than me. So you will be moving in your own way. Only thing is that can I structure your path so that you move together. So immediately 3 flip chart stands and 3 groups, 3 chairs, groups of round chairs, 10 each was kept there. And I told them that, sorry, since all the groups move in one way, I will have to give some instructions. But instructions I will not give orally, instructions I will project on the screen. If you have difficulty in understanding, I will explain that. And I gave the first instruction that please identify 5 most important business processes of the organization. So they discussed among themselves, they identified that, and then again fishball. I asked 2 persons each from the 3 groups. All were standing outside, and I told them, now out of this, you identify what is the most important process. So discussions went on and they went out with one process. So I told you, henceforth we will work for this business process only. And you know, I started keeping a very low profile. I had my credibility that helped me, but from inside, I was not losing my confidence or morale or anything. And because I was confident that things will move. If they sit today, they will sit for all the 5 days. So lunchtime, I told them that a bus is waiting here, company bus. And I will stop the session at 5:30 every day. And from 5:30 to 8:30, you can move around wherever you want to move. One person becomes the leader every day of the bus and you go and move and come back. And bus was lying there. I could not break the session at 5:30. Rather, all the 4 days, the sessions went up to 9:30, 10 p.m. like that. One day, forcibly, I told them that many of you are from outside Delhi. So I'm giving 4 to 6, from lunch to 6, 4 hours. And 4 hours we will work in the night. And you will be right that that was one of my lifetime achievements. The way the program went on. So question is that the techniques and all these things we are having, we are understanding, we are learning. But the fact is that the appropriate time I have to use appropriate techniques. So this is still another, I can say the technique or method or whatever, but it is a mix of so many techniques. People got so much involved. I will tell at a time, okay, now this stage number 2 is over. So in stage number 2, we are going to see that out of the 3 groups, which group is giving the best solution. Then somebody will take best presentation. Then somebody will tell, but sir, what will you give to the best group? I told you that you leave up to me. So best group, sometimes we will bring some books, we will give them, sometimes some instruments, sometimes something like that, but not every time. Sometimes suddenly step 5 is coming up. Okay, step 5 today. What you want? Sir, step 5. Step 5, we want that the winning group should give us a beer party in the evening. Winning group should give. Nebulagi, okay, you all agree? They all discussed, Namaskar, winning party. How have you ever heard the winning party is spending money? Nebulagi, yes, I have done many times. So, winning group, but actually, we did not allow them to spend their money. We made it from our from my own funds that way, my organization's fund. So this way, you know, there was so much excitement, this and that. Even the valedictory address, how it was not ending. वो बोलते हैं नहीं साहब अभी तो बहुत कुछ कहना है. So question is that कि facilitation has great scope, and I'm not telling you I am a great facilitator, but on occasions I have really satisfied myself. Thank you, sir. Any questions if you ask? Anybody, anything? आइए, बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हैं आप. Are you with me, sir, madam? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
सर वो केस स्टडी करवाना था आपने
जी.
द केस दैट यू सेंड ऑन द मेल, हाँ वो करना है ना.
नहीं हो पाएगा 15 मिनट.
ओके, ऑलराइट.
Parth sir, can we have a quick feedback on who should be retained? Quick feedback, sir, just. And what should be the criteria to be retained and not retained? Just the crux.
I can see from facilitator's point of view. Facilitator's point of view, you know, these are some very typical situations at the time of promotion or the time of giving some rewards. In the organizations, we may get this type of situations where every employee or every unit is having its strong points. In spite of that, we have to choose 1 or 2 out of that. So same thing is here also. And one thing I would like to say again, that in facilitation, if you start negotiating on values, it will be very difficult. For example, out of all these 6 persons, if you see in the core of it, there are some values, good values and bad values also. For example, वो जो लेडी है, क्या नाम है उसका?
Karuna.
Karuna.
The lady. What is your opinion about that lady? Very dynamic lady.
So Karuna नाम है उसका.
Karuna.
She is very smart, over smart.
मेरा सीट अभी कहीं स्लिप हो गया यहाँ से. I am not able to.
She is chairman's special.
So, that lady, for example, is so dynamic and she gets things done. And many persons would have told that she should be retained. But only one point is coming, that she is having some relations with top persons of the organization. Now,
Sir,
it is a value issue.
Sir, may I interrupt?
Sure.
Sir, we were like discussing this with our friends also. And we were also like landing on the same answer. Here, the point which comes into my mind is that whether we are talking about personal moral values or we are talking about organizational benefit, organizational values, right, sir?
Organizational values.
Like organizational profit, जो case study is saying.
Profit वाला value मैं नहीं करता हूँ, वो इसकी बात मैं नहीं कर रहा हूँ. जो tangible value addition है, profits and losses and all cost, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about human values. I'm talking about human values.
Sir, case study is saying about profit only.
That is the superordinate goal of the organization. Any organization, any company, if it has to survive, it has to earn, then only it will survive. And very important thing you are telling, and the question is that if our organization's survival, our organization's growth, here survival is there, growth to baad mein aayega. Out of the 6 persons, who is the most valuable person? Who is the most important person? Is it not? That is your case, na? That is your.
Who will maximize the profit of the organization? This is the question.
Who will be more beneficial to the organization? That person will be retained in common language. Is it not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I was talking about that lady. That lady has all the potential. And many times people say that, okay, she should be retained. But the fact is that if somebody will come from some corner and she will say, no, she is having a very bad example. She is having illicit relation or bad relation with the top person of the organization. Now, I am talking about this value, human value, personal values. Now,
sir,
that
how much role of a personal life and to be talked about life or perception just to be talked? It is, sir, clearly written that people think it might be true, it might not be true. Sir, uska personal life, if I'm saying, doesn't comes into play into the picture of bringing the profit to the organization.
What you are speaking just now, what value it is underlining?
Sir, organization का profit
हाँ?
कि organization का profit ही सब कुछ है यहाँ पे.
Profit ही सब कुछ है ना? But the question is that this is your value. Is it everybody's value in your group?
No, sir, not sure, not necessarily.
है ना? वो भी profit की ही बात करेंगे. लेकिन वो बोलेंगे कि नहीं यार, वो आदमी तो बड़ा रिसर्च वाला आदमी है, बड़ा ब्रिलियंट आदमी है. And in the coming times, this turbulent times, we need persons like him. उसका भी वो value है. Question ये है, मैं जो बात कहने जा रहा हूँ, कि if we want negotiating on values, there will be no decision. There will be no agreement.
Sir, but suppose, sir, we are studying this subject for like getting a good insight on facilitations, right? right, sir? And sir, someday we might work as corporate facilitator, right, sir?
Sure.
So, yeah. So, sir, suppose if I have been hired for like a corporate facilitator in TBC, and like if they they want a facilitator session on a certain issue like this only, right, sir? As few months back, 28 people from NTPC got fired on the basis of multiple reasons, like completely terminated on the basis of multiple reasons. There might be some facilitation, comprehensive facilitation might have gone through inside the corporate sector or corporate office, and then this heavy decision was taken. As NTPC's values is vision, and mission does not involve in like firing someone like this only. They take people together. So now, when we talk about facilitation or a corporate facilitation, there's a moral, personal moral values are required, but more than that, organizational values are kept at much higher pace or at a much higher position. So we have seen multiple times in organizations like NTPC and BHEL and many others, Reliance, that personal life में क्या करते हो, whatever you are with whoever you are, they can manage it on a secondary basis. Primary, their focus is to how much productive you are with the position, with the input that you are giving. So my point of view is that only, sir. That's it.
You are absolutely right. I am only telling that when 5 persons or 10 persons are sitting together on these type of things, everybody will speak with their values. वो वैल्यूज हो सकता है कि ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को सपोर्ट करता है, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को नहीं भी सपोर्ट कर सकता है. The thing is that the point which I was going to make is that कि वैल्यू इश्यूज को आप डिबेट नहीं करो. आप डिबेट क्या चीज को करो, जो आप कर रहे हैं कि भाई ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज in danger, organization is going to washed away, so whosoever is contributing उसको आप डिस्कस करो कि किसका, और डिसिप्लिन वाले का कंट्रीब्यूशन ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है इस हाल में, या नॉलेज वाले का है, या रिसर्च वाले का है, या जो बड़ा ऑनेस्ट आदमी है उसका है, किसका है, इसको आप डिस्कस करो. जो इस पे से टेंजिबल थिंग्स जो आते हैं, देन ओनली यू विल बी एबल टू. अगर आप डिबेट करना शुरू करोगे कि पर्सनल लाइफ इज मोर इंपॉर्टेंट और ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल लाइफ इज मोर इंपॉर्टेंट, ये रिपोर्ट ये कभी एंड ही नहीं होगा. सो only that thing was telling कि whenever you are having this type of issues, kindly keep yourself away from value issue. आप diagnose करो कि इसमें value issue क्या है और इसमें tangible issue क्या है. So your discussion should be focused on the tangible issues rather than the value issues. क्योंकि value issues को negotiate करना मुश्किल है. जिस आदमी का ये understanding है कि भाई नहीं बहुत लोग होते हैं कंपनी में आते हैं, वो बोलते हैं कि नहीं अटेंडेंस बना दिया, मेरा आज का दिन हो गया, अब उसके बाद हमें कुछ नहीं चाहिए. So that is what the point I was trying to make, that whenever this type of value issues or this type of things come in your facilitation session, you can tell the group that can we identify what are the tangible issues here. Tangible issues क्या है, जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को डायरेक्ट अफेक्ट करता है, और उस इश्यूज के बेसिस पे you can make your decisions. Your facilitation will work. Okay, madam?
Yes.
Okay, friends, we will close it here. And I think I have given you enough literature for that. I was not thinking that the session will come. It came. And anything, our relationship has not stopped here, is not ending here. Anything, anytime regarding training or anything, if you think that I can give you some ideas to you, please contact me on phone,
sir,
on mail or whatever.
Mobile number in the chat box. Can you please provide?
वो हमने दिया है, जो आपको दिया है लिटरेचर, उसमें मोबाइल नंबर
yes,
दिया है 9810979033 9810979033. So thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Please.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Anytime you are welcome. मेरे पास बहुत समय है, आप पूछिएगा, हम अपने समय के हिसाब से आपको रिस्पॉन्ड कर देंगे. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
So much. आइए. चलिए जी, तुम लोग बहुत
0